The Carriage Restorers Convention is an annual event first held in 1999, and it is about restoration and networking with restorers from all over the UK. The NRM hosted the very first one, and we were delighted when we were asked to host it once again. The response was great, with 77 delegates from as far apart as the Isle of Wight and the Scottish Highlands. The first presenter was Stephen Middleton, renowned carriage restorer, who took us through the fascinating story of the world's first ever petrol-driven railcar and his efforts to restore it to working order. Chris Binks from the NRM talked about water gilding and the potential practical application of these techniques for the museum collection. Richard Gibbon and a team from the Vintage Carriages Trust gave us an update on the Railway Heritage Register project and the extremely useful online database of surviving carriages across the UK. Practical demonstrations were the main focus of the afternoon session.
I'm going to be a 6-footer.
Walter Riley stole the show with an amazing display of exceptional skill on traditional wood graining.
Demonstrate up there. If you put it from the centre to the bar, then you get this quartered oak. That's why they call it quartered oak. I'm going to do it now, yeah. That's the idea, yeah.
30 minutes later, an MDF door was transformed with a realistic oak effect. Charlie Bird from the NRM presented his recent work incorporating low-energy and conservation-friendly LED lights inside the museum's historic carriages. A visit inside the LMS third-class sleeper in the station hall concluded the day. On Sunday morning, Helen Ashby, Head of Collections, greeted the delegates. Andrew Daniel and Ben Riley gave us progress reports on restoration projects at the LNER and LMS Carriage Associations. Tim Shields and Paul Molyneux-Berry talked about the restoration of Metropolitan Railway Carriage 353 and the modifications of the underframe and suspension to run on London Underground during the 150th anniversary celebrations. In the afternoon, Ian Matthews, who recently completed the painting of locomotive 4489 Dominion of Canada, continued his demonstration on brush painting, lining and lettering.
Do work it in more, because what you'll find is in that centre area, later on you'll see little curtains forming because there's far too much in that one area. You know, I feel like a proper fan. Draw whatever you need to put on the church, so you would mark out where you're going to go. On the outside, on the edge, right on the line, on your pencil line. Follow your chalk line down. Use the mastic and use it and move with the job as you go to keep your hand firm, rather than move your hand on the stick. But that's the idea of sign writing, and then you would carry on with your numbers.
Stathis Challis and Adrian Ashby concluded the practical session with an application of varnish fix transfers.
They look like screen prints. I just love them. It's,
The convention ended with a visit inside the Pullman car Topaz in the museum's Great Hall, where delegates had a chance to admire the prestigious interior decor.